G'day fellas and welcome to a casted FFA game, baby. Oh yeah, we are back with some FFA. I'm looking forward to this game because we've got some big names in here, some really decent players. In fact, we got the world's best FFA player in this lobby. And have a look what he is up to. He's playing on the Mongols down here. Keep an eye on him. This is going to be Corvinus 1 that we are watching here. Playing the Mongols and looking to utilize a strategy that I've been a big fan of ever since he told me about it. He said, Drongo, there's a secret Mongol strategy. You're not aware of it, but you're about to become aware of it. Or become aware of it. What is it? You start off, you throw down a stable immediately at the beginning of the game in the middle of the map, exactly like he's done right here, and you make 2 scouts. You don't need to build a house because you start with 200 population. You have enough resources to put down or to get a villager as well at the start, so you're not going to go idle. It's the perfect crime. Nobody gets hurt except for the enemy. First scout comes out at 1 minute into the game. Everybody else is still moving to their town center. Look at these TCs. Nobody's even close to finishing off their town centers. And of course, there's no Rus players in the game, so you're not going to have any threat from that angle. And he is already picking up sheep. Meanwhile, scout number 2 is going to move towards the bottom side of the map, and Corvinus 1 is going to start off with a very healthy amount of sheep. Don't you just love this? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted FFA game. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead, leave a like down below. It really helps out the traction of the videos. And let's introduce our players for today, because Corvinus 1 is not the only player in this game, even though he is the best player in this game. That is for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the north of the map on the color purple, playing as the English, we've got Jimba. To his east. In the color orange, playing as the Japanese, we've got Wokaholes. I think he's going for woke a-holes, but I'm just going to call him Wokaholes. Workaholics? Let's go with Workaholics, dude. Woke a-holes, really? That's your name? Meanwhile, over towards his west, and just underneath purple, playing in the color green on the Holy Roman Empire, we've got, well, it's our Chinese friend, of course. And down towards that east corner of the map, in the color pink, this is the map hacker, isn't it? I'm 99% sure this guy's map hacking. Almost 100% sure this guy is the map hacker. You know what? I think this guy is the famous map hacker. Oh, are we just donating the king already? What's going on right here? He's not happy with his spawn, so he's just like, we're just gonna give the king over to somebody. Anyway, down on the south side in the color blue, playing as the Mongols with a couple of sheep already on the way. Look at this. Maybe that's why he's quit, because he can't map hack all the sheep. Anyway, we've got Corvinus 1. He's playing under a little bit of a pseudonym here just to try and hide his identity, keep himself a little bit secret. Meanwhile, down towards his south in the color red, playing as the Juicy Legacy, we also have our Chinese friend. And to the west of the map, in the color yellow, playing as the Chinese, we've got Jis. Now, Jis is pretty good. You can see right there. I think that's a Conqueror little emblem. He's very good when it comes to FFA. I think currently sitting inside the top 20. So definitely one to keep our eye on this game. And finally, we've got spawning in as the Teal, playing as the Abbasid dynasty. We've got Anduk 114. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. Not quite as casted. Hold on. Oh no, he scattered it. I was gonna say, please tell me like the map hacker is just like randomly like sending out to gold that he hasn't found. Would be so typical. But look at this. Look at Corvinus, man. You are so naughty. You are so cheeky. Now keep in mind, this is a Juicy player down here. This is not a Chinese player, so there's not going to be any Barbicans happening right here this early on. But the landmarks are starting to come up. And look, now throwing down the House of Wisdom. Still going to be a while before he actually clicks on a specific wing. But let's talk about what we expect to happen this game. So we're going to see, I expect, some pretty decent coverage down here on the south side by Corvinus 1. He's playing the Mongols. It can always be a little bit difficult playing the Mongols. Obviously, they are limited compared to other civilizations. And hold on, Echo, have you forgot to toggle on, buddy? What's going on here? A little bit of a mistake from Corvinus not actually throwing all of the vills inside the town center. Probably could have picked up a kill right here. Where's Echo going? He's going over here. Maybe is he toggled off, or maybe it's a different one. I'm not sure. We're not going to worry about it unless we see anything egregious. Anyway, let's keep on moving on though, because we can expect a little bit of action down here on the south side. That is for sure. Look at this. Corvinus already starting to attack down a villager. I tell you what, this is not a nice neighbor to have. You know, we've talked about the Malians being terrible neighbors. What about the Mongols? Well, I reckon they wouldn't be the best of friends. That much can be said. Now, Jis going to be throwing down the Imperial Academy in the middle of his base. No resources going to be around here, with the exception of maybe a bit of a wood line that he could get. Horseman already coming out, and look at this. He's chasing down the scout from Echo, slowly looking to tap away at it. I'm curious exactly how much Corvinus knows about this this position here, and whether he actually thinks he can do some meaningful damage here. But we do now start to see that scout is just heading up north. At least it was heading up north. Probably a good idea to head back towards base, though, when you're getting followed by a horseman. Oh, is he going to start killing the sheep? Oh, that's so cheeky. But I guess that kind of makes sense, though. Anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a Barbican up here. I feel like Yellow is probably close enough to Teal to justify a Barbican. However, it is an Abbasid player, and you've got to be very careful with Abbasid players because they can just make like a single Rax, a Spearman, and then just make a Ram, and now your Barbican is dead. So that's one thing to be very cautious of. Whenever you're looking to drop a Barbican down on a player. But it is going to be the Eco Wing that comes through now for Unduk. Of course, the age-ups are starting to come online. Nice little tower defense coming through here as well for the red player on the south side. Let's check in on the north and see what the action's looking like. Because when it comes to purple, purple's got a great little spot in the back here. The only problem is no gold. However, he says, actually, I'm just going to take this gold right next to you. Don't mind me, Orange. And indeed, Orange doesn't mind. He's too worried about the woke a-holes. All right, it looks like we've got ourselves a scout in trouble on this north side of the map. Let's switch perspective. Who are we going to go? Who are we going to ride along with? I think we can probably ride along with Jizz for the moment. Keep in mind, he's the player that we're going to be also looking out for. We've obviously got Deerstones coming down here for Corvinus 1, but we will be checking in with him. And beautiful Barbican placement. This is amazing. It's a forward position. It gets 2 separate resources that are otherwise very difficult for you to obtain. Wonderful Barbican placement, 10 out of 10. But interestingly, we do start to see the Monarch, Saladin, is out here for Anduk, just doing a little bit of scouting. Definitely something I would advise is a pretty good idea, right? Like, you really want to do some nice scouting early on in the game with your Monarch. There's not really much that can kill them. As long as you save the sprint, you always want to be saving the sprint, because if you get a little bit too close to comfort to an enemy, you might need to utilize that sprint to get out from, whether it's the town center or whether it's villages. Have a look at this. Once again, Khan going to be working this down. Now, I'm curious to see what kind of strategy we see Corvinus pull here. Obviously, he's got somebody very close to him, so I don't think we're going to be seeing that fast Imperial, but have a look at the amount of Vils that are going to be moving out here. This always feels very dangerous to be doing, and this is going to be spotted out by Red. He will see the villagers coming across the top here. He does have the resources to age up. He's struggling to keep it together, though. No Vils in the queue, no landmark for the moment, and look at him pull the Vils right now. He's going to bring that Khan back. Wants to make sure no outpost is going to come up. Khan, be careful. Be careful. That outpost needs to be cancelled very quickly. Unfortunately, it is. But he brings in the Horseman as well for a little bit of backup. And this is so damn difficult to deal with. I think the best thing that you can do at this stage is just, like, do a full all-in on the tower, right? Like, just go for the bunker bust. That's pretty much what you want to do in this situation. Meanwhile, the age-ups across the map are now starting to come through. The Kura Storehouse is online for woke a-holes. The Council Hall has come up as well. And now as well for our green friend, we've got the Arkan Chapel. Now, we'll be looking to see how many relics he picks up in this game. When it comes to the relic count, you've got 1 in the back of the base here. Unlikely that you get it, but it is definitely possible. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th relic, 7th relic on this town center. And there's probably an 8th relic hiding away somewhere. We just can't see it right now. Anyway, the outpost does get up. 2 horsemen and a scout inside. Completely locks down this hunt. And you know what Corvinus wants? He just wants a very quick kill. He doesn't want much of a discussion. He just wants Red to leave the game. He wants to take that king for himself. And he wants to go straight to Imperial. We've seen him do it before. He loves that Imperial age. Actually, we haven't actually seen him do it before. This is the first time I think we're casting his Mongols. At least in an FFA environment. So I'm hoping that we get to see something exciting. And look, so far he's doing pretty well. How many sheep has he got over here, by the way? He's got a decent number. Still 9 under here and plenty of sheep rolling through that top side. Still no age up, by the way. I think he's going straight for the castle age. Interesting decision. So straight to castle age. I like the fact that he's just, you know, thrown down the outpost and then just walked back home. He's like, we'll just go back home. Deerstone's coming up with the 1 Vil. Let's check in over on the east side of the map. Let's see what Echo's doing at the moment. He's probably not doing much of anything. He does have the scout, though, to collect the sheep. That's the other thing to note. What is that? Is that the Ozutsu? Dude, that cannon is pretty big, huh? They must have been really strong, the Ozutsu. Like, when you see the size of that, that's kind of wild, man. Double stable. Now going to get thrown down here from Echo. Let's check in on the south side of the map. Still that Khan being very annoying. Remember that now that Feudal Age is through, a little bit of extra damage. One of the things to note for Corvinus is he will be looking upon getting Castle Age potentially at some sprinkled emplacements, but no, never mind. He's just going to go straight into arrow slits here and have a look at this. We have the archery range and the barracks now getting thrown up. Looks like a cardinal sin is going to happen right now. He waits, or he builds the archery range and the barracks before the Jiangnan Tower, which means he just missed 2 units that he could have gotten for free if he just waited even a couple of seconds and he would have been absolutely fine. So it's painful to see, but unfortunately, not gonna be particularly potent today. Second town center's coming through from Jis. Remember, we're going to keep an eye on him. A decent player, that is for sure. Anduk is also doing quite well up here. 3 town centers now coming online for him. Farming economy starting to build. He did open with Eco Wing, so he's going to reduce the cost down of all of those buildings. Meanwhile, towards the north side, these are the kinds of neighbors I wish I had. Man, I am longing for the day where I can spawn this close to a player and then just, like, have them not attack me. But I guess that's something that kind of comes with, like, as you get better at FFA, you go up against more aggressive opponents, right? Like, naturally, when you're playing FFA, it's going to try and group you with players of similar skill. It doesn't always happen. Like, there are games where I get people that are very clearly not my skill level. But there are a lot of games where I get people who are from the top end of town. So it's one of those things that I guess just happens naturally over time the more you play FFA. So just to confirm relics, so we've got the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So 4 edge relics is probably the best way to say it. 5th relic in the middle, 6th relic, and 7th relic. I think that's it. I'm 99% sure that's it. When it comes to sacred sites, we've got 3 sacred sites, all nice and close together. Though, to be fair, this trade post is kind of awkwardly positioned next to the sacred site. I don't think you could get a wall through here. So it's going to be really hard getting a sacred victory, especially with 3 sacred sites this far apart. If they were all like right next to each other, smack bang, then you could probably look for it. Castle Age now coming through. It's going to be the step route that he chooses to opt for. And it looks like he is just going straight for the fast Imperial. So even spawning this close to an enemy, he's still opting to go fast Imperial. That's kind of wild, right? But I love the way that he thinks about this and says, you know what? Even though I'm this close to you, I don't want to hurt my game. Now, the reason that he's going fast Imperial, I mean, I've done this strategy before. He actually messaged me. He's like, Drongo, you got to try this strategy. It's incredible. So what he's going to look to do is going to the Khaganate Palace, which automatically spawns diverse armies from across the Mongol Empire and its dominions. So you can get really random things. Like you can get a Hui Hui Pow. You can get some Nest of Bees. You can get Palace Guards. You can get Horse Archers. It's got everything in there, man. It's amazing. Get, what else can you get? You can get the Knights, and they've got like Boyar's Fortitude and the Polearm Axes. It's really, really nice having that wonder, or that landmark rather. Did I say wonder? I say wonder because of Age of Empires 3, and sometimes my head gets stuck in Age of Empires 3 brain, and yeah, it's hard to weasel your way out of it. Stonewall's now going to be coming up on the east side of the map. I haven't seen anything sus from Echo just yet, apart from, I will say this, apart from choosing the best spot on the map to basically put your base, right? Like, he looked at the map at where everyone had started, and he's like, where is nobody going to? And then he was like, yeah, I think I can go over this way. This probably makes the most sense. Like, that's the only sus thing. And even then, like, I can't really just call him out just because of that, because that could just be luck. Meanwhile, speaking of luck, no luck at all needed over here for Corvinus. He is holding it down. He's given us this early aggression. Meanwhile, towards the north, like there is nothing going on here. Maybe a long... Ooh, just as I say that, we got crossbows, we got men-at-arms, and we got ourselves a battering ram. Jimba is looking to get into the action. Jimba, everything from here to the sunrise is yours. What's over there? That's the Badlands. We don't talk about that, Jimba. All right. And now the mounted samurai are out, Jimba, and you and I don't even know. What other Lion King references can we make? Khaganate Palace now coming online. Corvinus is really boxing in his opponent down here. Poor Juicy Legacy players, just trying to live his best life. You know, getting some Jukunu, getting some spears out. Meanwhile, you've got Imperial Age Corvinus 1 over here, just like, I'm going to go Imperial. I'm going to make a Khaganate Palace. One thing to note, though, is he didn't go into I would have thought he would have gone into relics, especially because he's probably scouted like this relic here. He has, so you can kind of be guaranteed that you'll get at least 2 relics. But is he just going to go imp and then look to pick up relics? Is that going to be the play? But have a look at this. Even the Holy Roman Empire player is not even thinking about going into relics. It's like, I'm going to kill. All right, we'll let the man cook. Haganah Palace, what's it going to be? The first set of units coming through, it's going to be palace guards, and we hear that bell ringing. Like, even the king's out here. Now, one thing to note is that with the Imperial Age upgrade for the Khan, he becomes elite. Have a look at the damage that it's got. 24 bow damage, 5.5 tiles of range. It also heals itself. Huge health pool. He could pick off these units individually. It's kind of wild. He's got to be careful though. The Jukunu don't mess around when it comes to deal and damage. Keep in mind that Khan can shoot and move. It's like a Mangadai in that regard. The Palace Guard's about to come out. Remember, these are going to be elite Palace Guards. I want to check the stats because I'm pretty sure they should also have the unique upgrade that is available. Wallolol in the north. Not going to be able to find too much success, but it definitely looks like purple has woken up. Yeah, so you do see the battle-hardened upgrade has come through on these. Gosh, these are elite Palace Guards that just spawn. And he's like, what's up? You want to fight? Up against the feudal, juicy legacy units. How sad. How sad. Elimination comes through. It's going to be down here on the south side, and the juicy legacy taps out. Corvinus going to be able to pick up the first kill of the game here. That bloodlust. We're always looking for it. Get himself a couple of little extra points. Meanwhile, we do hear relics are now starting to get picked up. Prayer tents coming online towards that top side of the map. The crossbows are doing a decent job of kiting out. And there's that 50 population going over to Corvinus. The battle lines are starting to be drawn over towards the west side as well. Nice little walls coming up here, though. I will remark, Teal, upon the walls. Not quite all the way. A little bit more to go. And then... Oh, no, Teal. Oh, no. Not like this, Teal, please. Not like this. Oh, I've seen it before, but it was in fan fiction. Never in a real game. Never in a real game. Meanwhile, Pink is still walling up. He's just got a couple of vills out here building some of the biggest walls you'll see this game. They're particularly fearsome. Meanwhile, we do see Gis is slowly getting the gist of things over here. Castle Age is online. Nesta Bees are out. Looks like he's got himself quite a bit of an army beginning to build here. Remember, we want to keep an eye on him, but I guess the other thing to note... Oh, well, look at this. Corvinus gets warrior monks. Oh my god, what a roll from the Khaganate Palace. Able to find a lot of space. Elite Knights now going to be coming through. I wish we could get the full list of units that you can get here. I think there's like 9 different units that you can get. Now... Nesta B is going to be coming out next. Now, I don't think you can cancel them either, right? Like, if you get a bad roll, you just got to kind of live with it, right? Like, you get Nesta B's, wow, great. But you get like a, I don't know, what's a bad roll? Like, maybe the Hui Hui Power is a bad roll? I don't know. It's a cool unit. It's just very slow. I don't know. It feels very slow. Let's put it that way. But now Corvin is going to be thinking about, who do I attack next? Maybe I should go after the guy that's also a pretty decent player, because if I take him out of the game, then there's a good chance I've got myself a nice little victory here. And I think that's probably the direction he looks. He could also go into pink, knowing that, okay, this guy is a probable, I want to say probable, you know, it's a alleged map hacker. I don't think, look, I haven't seen anything just yet. I just recognize the name. I'm pretty sure, didn't this guy actually get permanently banned? This game happened today. So maybe it's, you know what? Maybe he's just on a different account. I wouldn't, this is his brother's account. It's a family share account, man. You know family sharing, right? Like, I don't think that actually bans. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I got no idea how it works. Anyway, we got ourselves a little bit of Mongol burning happening down here. Look at this. He's picked up the bonuses as well through the Uvu. So the Uvu has bonus damage that you can be getting. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you can get. But, extra torch damage, you get extra stone, you get extra resources from your torching. There's a whole bunch of different things, but now towards that top side, it looks like Jis and Enduk is going to start fighting out. Now, one thing to note is that the Elite Khan has spotted this out. He knows that there is action on both sides here. Triple Nesta Bees also coming through. Needs to try and keep them alive. In this situation, you want to tank up with the crossbows at the front. You could even pull villagers here because you need these Nesta Bees to survive. These are the most important part of this army. This is what's going to keep you alive right now, Jess. He's holding on for dear life. Definitely doing a decent job firing into the backline, but the real threat here is these units on the front, because these units on the front could just absolutely tear through your Nesta Bees, and that's exactly what we seem to be seeing here. villagers going down at the same time. He's looking to rally units out here. Not a whole lot of production. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 production facilities. He's going to try his best to keep the clock tower alive. You can see he's got a few units in queue, but looks like it will be going down before that last Nesta B can get out. And it's tough, right? Because it felt like he probably could have stayed alive right here, but it was just a classic case of targeting the wrong unit. So now we see Corvinus 1 looking to utilize that special ability from the king. He spots out all of his opponents. Vill's now going to get pulled. He pulls every single Vill. Not every single Vill, but close to every single Vill. 37 of them. And says, hey, do you guys mind just taking out this battering ram for me? And they say, sure. We'll take out the trash. And indeed, the trash gets taken out because they only cost wood. And wood is a trash unit. So there you go. Still stands, though. Second one coming through as well. Lost a lot of Vills in here. Keep in mind, there's 14 Vills. We saw 37 before. 8 are inside the Barbican. But that's quite a loss that he has got right now. What's his Vill count? It should be sitting at 100 plus. Ooh, only 75. Big farming economy here as well. This is nice, but I think the main thing to take away from this is just didn't have the military count that he needed. Now I'm going to start looking to start making... we got some... I was going to say we got some Barbicans in the base here. We got some battering rams in the base here. Though, I tell you what, I feel like Jis is probably going to get taken out. Where does he go from here? Like, we've got the king down here. He's going to go for a bit of a run. But what? Is he just going to look to donate it? Is that what he's going to do? Now, I will say this, and I've said this before. I will say it right now. This is a skill issue from Anduk's side. Okay? Anduk should not be allowing the king to go. Anduk should be looking to get units onto the town center as quickly as possible. And the other thing is he should probably be thinking about the king going for a run and having some sort of stable unit to go and intercept that, because this is the worst outcome. And you can see right now, like, look at the planned trajectory here. Let's have a look and see if we can track it down. This is the direction that he's moving. I don't know if it's intentional, but he's going straight to Corvinus here. So you got a couple of options if you're playing as Anduk. Number one, it is go and kill the king with a knight or something like that. And number two, just kill all the landmarks. The problem is killing landmarks takes a long time. So it's just much easier to go, hey, where's your king at, by the way? And then killing the king. King's going to continue to run. Oh, he's actually going to donate it. Oh, and you can see Corvinus has realized, look at this. Yeah, he knows where Corvinus is. Yeah, oh, he's just donating it. He's 100% just donating it. It sucks, man, but it's one of those things where it's like, to me, I genuinely see this as a skill issue, and I've come around on it, right? Because I remember back in Outback Octagon, we had like very specific rules, right? Like you can't be donating the king. I remember we had like this big issue where it was like people who donated the king, like the admin was looking into it, and we were gonna suspend them or like deduct points and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, I think we came around, and like I'm coming around to the idea of king donation, because I definitely think that there are some scenarios where you can kind of donate the king and there's nothing your opponent can do about it. But I do normally feel like in most circumstances, you can kind of do something about it. Like even, I'm thinking of like the games that I played. Like, I'm not sure if you guys will remember, there was a game I played with some cheaters. One of them was map hacking, and there was two of them, they were teaming up. And so I was fighting them 2-on-1, and I was holding for like 10-15 minutes. And then I started pushing one back. And the moment I started doing that, he sent his king across to his ally. And then the ally took the 50 population because he knew he was going to die. He knew I was going to kill him. But that to me was a skill issue, right? Like I should have known, okay, if I'm going to go kill that king, there's a good chance he's going to donate it to his ally. So I need to make sure that I've got knights ready to intercept when it inevitably happens. And it did inevitably happen, and I could have intercepted it because I knew about it, but it was just one of those things where it was a skill issue. Now, speaking of skill issues, what's going on here, Green? You've gone for Burgrave, and you've done absolutely nothing with it, brother. What is going on here? Meanwhile, towards the north of the map, Mounted Samurai not going to be able to find too much success up here as the crossbows and spears repel them for the moment. Definitely feels like now that Corvinus has been able to take out, or not been able to take out, I mean, technically, yeah, he took out Yellow, but now that Yellow's gone out, I'm kind of worried here that we might have ourselves a runaway freight train. It wouldn't be the first time that it's happened in a game, and it probably won't be the last time, but Corvinus at the moment, he's at 112 out of 300 population. Compare that to Teal as an example, who's at 175. So there is a really good chance right here that Anduk just says, hey, you know what? I'm kind of sick of you. I'm kind of sick of you doing this. And he starts attacking. That could be an option. Now, speaking of options, let's check in with Echo. The man who runs by the same... I'm not going to say it's the same guy, because I don't... Judging from the play that I'm seeing here, there's nothing for me to suggest that there's map hacking going on, right? Like, he's not killing a lot of villagers. He's just kind of chilling out. He doesn't seem to be too overpowered in this game. I reckon it's just... Hold on. Where are these villagers going? All right, they're going to a mining camp out here for a scouted gold, or scouted stone, rather. I'll permit it. I will allow it. Meanwhile, I mean, what's going on with Green? Let's check in with Green and see how he's doing. He's 100 population at the moment. He's just kind of chilling out. I don't think he's got a single relic to his name. Can we confirm that? I want to compliment him on the fact that not only does he have the Burgrave here, but he's also got the 3 Raxes. And it appears like he doesn't have the Burgrave in the control group. So the Burgrave acts as like, if it's 400% faster, that means it acts as 5 Raxes, right? Because 100% faster would be twice as fast. 200% times faster would be 3 times as fast. So this is 4, which would be 5 times as fast. Meanwhile, whoa, we got Lunch Connect. We got men-at-arms. Mango shots on the back. Good damage coming through. Nice little spread. Crossbow's looking to try and get some value. At the same time, the Mango under pressure. Men-at-arms able to take it out. First one goes down. Second one under pressure again. Now the Treb also comes out. He's looking to really put the herd on towards the north side of the map. Meanwhile, inside the base of Yellow, we now start to see Corvinus 1 burning down all the buildings, looking to pick up that juicy bounty. Speaking of juicy, right there, have a look at that. No need for a juicy legacy, my friend. We got all the juice we need right here, as that Mango is just cleaning house, baby. You love to see it, don't you? You really do. And Jimba is going to be tapping out, unfortunately. Today, Jimba, you set foot in the Badlands. And, well, we didn't own that part of the world, Jimba. But maybe there's another day, or another way that we can find our way through. I like these these longbows still working their magic here. Go on, get on out of here. Is he gonna take the king out? He should probably take the king out. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful, good to see. All right, relics still getting picked up here. 50 population going over to green. So at the moment, we've now got 2 kills for blue, 1 kill for green. Make sure you're keeping a tab. I always like to keep a tab in my game, just to make sure that I'm keeping track. You don't want somebody to get a bit of a runaway and then forget about him and be like, oh, wait, why is Yellow's army so big? And it's because Yellow got 3 kills. And you're like, oh, that sucks. I should have been focused less on my farms and more on Yellow. Look, that's probably one of those things where it's like, ouch. It's so true, it hurts. Now, speaking of truth, have a look at this. Kaganet Palace is pumping. It is giving its truth today. Not only are there horse archers, but you're also going to see more horse archers. I'll be honest, I thought they were Mangadai. There's the Mangadai coming through now. I was like, not only are you going to see horse archers, but Mangadai. No, it was just more horse archers. Yeah, these are elite Mangadai. Far out. Look at the stats. These are kind of wild. And these are fully upgraded as well. So they've got the gallop ability. Activate to move at maximum speed with 2 tile weapon range for 8 seconds. Dude, that's kind of wild when you think about it, how good that is. All right, well, he's going to continue sieging. Meanwhile, over on the east side of the map, Echo is going to make his first push of the game. He's decided 27 minutes into this game, I am now ready to fight. I've walled up my base. I'm safe. Oh, he's gone for the College of Artillery. Hello. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of gold in the coffers here for Echo, which means not a lot of artillery. And now, a huge mass of Mangadai. I don't know if Corvinus has been making the Mangadai or whether he's just been getting them for free, but that's a massive amount of Mangadai. Can we just quickly check what his production is looking like right now? He does have 7 archery ranges, and he has upgraded elite Mangadai, so I think that that's probably it. Throws a whole lot more in queue. And do we have a secret Mongol unit that nobody knows about? That's actually the king of FFA? In 1v1, you wouldn't find... Mate, you wouldn't find a silver player making Mangadai. Yet, all of a sudden in FFA... Hold your horses. We got a little bit to talk about. All right, on that north side. Luckily, I checked in here to see what was going on. Fortunately, green hasn't surrendered just yet. But I'll tell you what, it always feels bad when you're getting attacked by somebody, and then a second player comes along, and instead of attacking the other player that's attacking you, they attack your king, or they attack where your king is. I was like, you guys are both... Hey, come on. This isn't teaming, but it definitely doesn't feel... It doesn't feel good. We'll say that much. But, yeah, this is a bit of a tough spot right now for green. Unfortunately, the Burgrave didn't find a whole lot of success this game. He's got plenty of villagers back home tier. Let's take a quick look at Teal. Sitting on 135 vil. That's a decent villager count. But with this extra 50 population he's about to pick up, or at least he should pick up, don't want to count my chickens right now, but I can tell you what. That chicken has hatched. 50 pop now going over to the Abbasid player. We've got ourselves a bit of a showdown beginning to happen. I can feel it. Now, one thing to note is that Teal should have picked up that earlier kill. He didn't. It was donated over to Corvinus. Imagine if he'd picked it up. This would be a different game right now because he's got a lot of resources in the bank. And remember, Abbasid have got some of the best trash in the game. Not some of the best trash, the best trash in the game. Full stop, no returns. One of the big contributing factors to the best trash that they've got is this upgrade right here. Composite bows gives their archers an extra 33% attack speed, which is quite a bit when you think about it. On top of that, they've got things like camel support, which increases the armor of nearby infantry, and that's from all of your camels. It's just like, it's crazy, man. When you look at how good Abbasid infantry is in the late game, elite upgrades, phalanx upgrade as well, increasing the range of your spears. Like, you really want to be scared of the Abbasid, man. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the tier list that Corvinus did recently, but he put the Abbasid in S tier, and I can see why, man. They are a crazy civilization in FFA if they get enough space. And even if they don't, they can still take names early on. A bit of a run by looking to happen right here. I'm not sure what the plan is. Has he found a way through? Or is he just on the move? Now, let's do a quick king check. Where's the king? The king's in the main town center. Keep in mind, no red palace here, so Corvinus could very easily run over his opponent, but is he... Hold on. I think I know what's happening here. Does Corvinus know that this king is exposed? And is he simply just going to go and try and take out this king, realizing that Pink is very much just kind of insulated, doesn't really want to push out, he's just kind of chilling. I can leave Pink. Is that what he's thinking? He's thinking, I can leave Pink and then come back for him later? I feel like that's what he's thinking. Like, this is the ultimate in greed, right? Like, this is where you go for the far relic instead of going for the close relic. We're seeing it right now, but instead of relics, it's players, it's kings, it's monarchs that we are seeing. But I tell you what, there is a powerhouse over here on the west side of the map that I am kind of scared of. So we'll have to see exactly how he stacks up against Corvinus, because the late game is going to be coming very, very soon. Let's check in with Corvinus and see what that eco is currently... Wow, he's already maxed. Gosh, that's a big army. He's 300 out of 300 already? That's kind of wild. Corvinus now going to be pushing through. All the Mangudai looking to try and create a bit of pandemonium inside the Japanese base. Should be able to clear it all out. Wants to keep all of these horsemen alive so that they're able to do the sieging. And you can see just how quickly these Mangudai are tearing through the Japanese forces. All of the veteran samurai are trying their best to keep up, but just getting completely obliterated. Horsemen now going to be starting to run through here. Couple villagers in the back as well. Always a little bit confusing. You want to try and keep your eye on where that king is at. Meanwhile, more units now going to be reinforcing towards this top side. Anduk, he's coming as well. Stay alive. Beautiful work. The villagers now going to be looking to repair. Firing off those Mangudai, looking to clean up the villagers. Needs to try and keep the king alive. There's nowhere for him to go if he wants to garrison. This is the best spot right here, so you got to clear the vills out now. King's on the ground and immediately evaporated by those Mangudai. That's going to be 3 kings taken out, and I've got to say, I love that tactical genius. Echo gets... Oh, Lord. I love that tactical mindset coming out right now from Corvinus 1. Because he goes and secures the kill in the north, and then, once he's secured the kill in the north, he's free to go and attack Pink. And, like, there's no chance that Teal's taking out Pink, right? Pink's a free kill. For all intents and purposes, this is a free kill right here. I mean, Echo, you did well this game, buddy. I'm loving the production. The production is incredible, mate. I would recommend next game that you play, Echo, just make another town center nice and early and get yourself a good village account going. Lots of farms with it as well. You'll feel really, really good in the late game. But now we're going to see ourselves a bit of a battle. Have a look at this. Now, one thing to note, you might be looking at this and going, okay, this is well and truly over. I would argue that it's not. And the reason why is this. As long as Anduk keeps pushing Corvinus can't really get an advantage on having this big army, right? The most important thing that Anduk wants to do right now is just... Oh, God, this army's huge. Oh, God, this army's massive. How does he have such a big army? This is incredible. 233 military population? Even if Anduk deleted all of his villages, he's still, like, barely getting there. Oh, Lord, this is kind of scary. Now, what kind... I don't even know what kind of army Anduk's got, man. I'm hoping there's some spears in there. I'm hoping there's a lot of spears in there. Let's quickly check. He's got 29 spears, though he is starting to lose it. Let's hope he's got elite army tactics. Hand cannoneers starting to push forward as well. Boot camp is through. Mangadai, you can see just... Oh, Mangadai get nerfed by camels. I didn't know that. The more you know. I guess that's something I had never even really considered. Elite Spearmen now going to be moving down from the south. Anduk needs to continue reinforcing. Corvinus 1 looking to try and take out this keep in the middle of the map. You can see how much damage is able to do. 5 fire armor, not going to be nearly enough. Second keep looking to try and bring it online. Not going to be happening. Stone walls? No stone... Oh, Lord, no stone walls. It's the classic stone walls to palisade walls. Meanwhile, bit of a run around in the middle of the map. Spears getting eviscerated by this backline of Mangadai. The DPS that they are putting out is next level. Anduk down to 213 population. He needs more production. What's his production currently at? He's got 38 production facilities. This is a decent amount. He just needs to throw more units in queue. He's only got 2 Gulams in queue. This needs to be like 200 spearmen, and it needs to be 200 spearmen yesterday. He needs to hurry with these spears. Needs to get them out, but you can see the number of units that Corvinus 1 has got right now is just insanity. He's at 235 pop, though, and this is the other thing, right? Like, the military count is starting to drop. Corvinus doesn't have a big economy. And you could look at this and say, okay, you know, Corvinus has got this 100%. I disagree. I disagree 100%. This right now is a game of attrition. And it's about whether Corvinus is going to be able to push his opponent out right now or whether something different happens. Of course, that's the other option. Anduk now with a couple of traders. Mangonel sitting down. So I think the big thing that I want to see from Anduk here is just spam. It doesn't matter what unit you're making, just make units, right? Like, if we have a look right here, he needs to be on wood lines at the back, and he's got lots of wood. This is perfect. Being on wood lines at the back, still making town centers, and just spamming. So looking at this, I would be like, okay, you're just going to make a whole bunch of... honestly, all I want to see are just spears. Just make spears. Make a whole lot of spears. Sacred sites, or Sacred Victory now... potentially in play here. He's got some big boys back here. 3 sacred sites taken. Get your markers out. Get your timers out. 36 minutes roughly. 36:20, sometime around that. Nesta B's getting some decent damage in. Spears moving up here. He's got to be really careful against these spears. Remember, these spears are incredible with how much work they can do. Not only do they have boot camp, they've also got the phalanx ability. So they're going to do extra. Maybe a culverin or 2 would be very, very helpful here, even though there's a lot of cavalry. And Anduk now going to start pushing forward. This is exactly what he needs to do. You want these big fights to be happening. He's over 200 population. Let's quickly check in. There you go. There you go. That's exactly it. You might have 400 max population, but if you don't have the economy to support it, it means absolutely nothing. And now Anduk has... well, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm quite impressed right now. You're fighting up against a max 400 population. And you're pushing him back, and not just pushing him back, like, you're doing very well here, Anduk. The main thing for me is, though, you got to remember, Corvinus 1 is a Conqueror 3 player. He is incredible, not just a Conqueror 3 player. That is not giving him credit. He's a Conqueror 4 player. Conqueror 3 is 1,600 points. Conqueror 4, it's not technically in the game, but I call it like 2K rating. So the difference between 1,600 and 2,000 rating is an insane amount of difference. Needs to neutralize this sacred site, though. We need to see a unit on the sacred site. You want to just stop the ticking. You don't even care. Like, realistically, he doesn't care either. But Anduk is actually pushing him back. This is incredible. So, really, this population advantage means nothing right now, unless Corvinus is able to use it. And the truth is, Corvinus hasn't invested enough into his economy. He's picked up lots of kills throughout this game, but there's a part of me that thinks maybe he was just a little bit too blasé about the game and about playing as the Mongols. Maybe he was just thinking to himself, you know what, Drongo, I don't really need to go 2 TCs or 3 TCs. Yeah, sure, I picked up 2 kills early on in the game, but do I really need to guarantee my victory here? And the answer is yes, you do. 100%. And this is where it starts to get a bit of a struggle, because right now, Corvinus is throwing down all of these barracks here. Sacred Site just got neutralized, by the way. So that's 1, 2, and the third one's getting neutralized. Now, one of the things that Anduk needs to stop doing right now, just chill. You need to max. Anduk, max 250, and then push, please. Look at these resources in the bank. So, yeah, I think the big thing for Anduk here is he just needs to max. You don't want to be taking fights like this. This is a suboptimal fight. You need to max and then push. Especially now that he's kind of, like, injured his opponent. But now, Mango's on the backside, going to get caught out of position. He's able to take both of them down. Hand Cannoneer is going to get eaten alive by the back line here, and this is just a consequence of not having a front line. And, I mean, this is one of those mistakes, right? When I said earlier about Corvinus 1 being a Conqueror 3 player, I don't know how good Anduk is right now, but I will just tell you that where I come from, Conqueror 3 players typically don't do stone walls to palisade walls. Sorry. Sorry, Anduk. I shouldn't do you like that. I shouldn't do you like that. Oh, why I gotta do him dirty like that? I tell you what, though, I'm getting a little bit excited here watching the Abbasid, man. I tell you what, ever since I watched Corvinus's video and he put Abbasid in S tier, I was like, Corvinus, don't put Abbasid in S tier. Now I want to play them. Like, you can't be telling me they're overpowered. Now I need to play them. Oh, man. Anduk is definitely giving us a great demonstration, though. Huge economy happening behind this. Unfortunately, we're going to have to issue a citation, even though we typically don't issue them in FFAs, just for this wood line. It is a... Oh, yeah. That is a citation and a half right there. I don't care if you're platinum, mate. That is a citation. That is, yeah, that's not a good one. Let's check in. I want to see what the population is now. 229 for Anduk compared to Corvinus, 235. That's how close these guys are. So just remember, when it comes to, you know, how can I possibly beat him? He's got 4 kills and I've only got 1. Well, just remember, it's not always about the size of your army. It's very much about how you use it. At least that's what my, I shouldn't. That's what my wife tells me. I did it anyway. Anyway, she doesn't really tell me that, guys. Don't worry. It's you. This is cursed. We got cursed. 40 minutes into it, we're cursed. Anyway, well, it's good to have a cursed cast. Yeah, I miss the cursed casts, man, casters. I miss the... Okay. Anyway, look, it's 7:30 p.m. in the evening. It's getting a bit late here. Drongo's getting tired, all right? And naturally, you're going to see cursed casts when it happens. Now, the big question is, how do you finish this off? And now that, if we take a look at Anduk, Anduk is maxed. So this is when he wants to be fighting. Now that he is maxed, he wants to be fighting. The other thing that he needs to be doing is he needs to be building production in the middle of the map. And ideally taking the sacred sites. That's another really important thing. He can also look for keeps in the middle. That's another great thing that he can be doing. But yeah, the big idea for me here is that you don't typically want to try and go for a sacred victory. You just want to grind your opponent out. Because if you try for a sacred victory, you're basically just giving your opponent 10 minutes to build up 400 population. You know that they've got that advantage. So you want to try and push them now. Let's see how he does. It's a good size amount of, or good size army that he's got rolling here. Decent eco behind this as well. Let's check in and see. Now, Corvinus is already up to 295, so he is pumping, and you can see that the economy is going pretty well. He's up to 113 villages here. Keep in mind, he does obviously have the Khaganate Palace, which is working overtime right now. But look at this. A whole bunch of men-at-arms. Interesting choice to go into the men-at-arms here. And I wonder if that's intentional because he knows he's up against the trash or largely trash army of his opponent. Like, realistically, what do we got in here? Spears, elite camel archers. It's not all trash. It's not all trash. Half of the army's gotten caught up on an outpost up towards the north side. Springwood's now going to be moving forward, looking to try and take out that mango, realizing it's not too much of a party, and saying, you know what? You can stay up there. You can hear behind us right now, all of the units that are being rallied out here, up to 320 population at this stage. Corvinus is up about 70 military pop over his opponent. And this is just the case of where you've waited a little bit too long to remax and waited too long to attack. And now my fear is that attacking into Corvinus, you're actually going to be ruining your chances of victory. Down to 235 here. He does have more units coming through, but it's just that classic case of waiting a little bit too long. So once again, if we can see all 3 sacred sites, maybe some walls up on the sacred sites and continuing to push the opponent. But this is a massive army now. Now this army has gotten a little bit too big, and I'm starting to worry, especially because it's high DPS on the back, the Mangudai, with a really strong tank at the front, the men-at-arms. These guys are incredible because you got to remember that they get the extra bonus armor that comes through from the defense arrow. So now all of a sudden you're not just talking about 8 armor, you're talking about 10 armor, and that makes all the difference when you've got units like the spearmen, which are only doing 17 damage. Though I do feel like 17 damage for a spear is kind of wild. Is it really that much? That feels like a lot. Anyway, what do they do against Cav? Plus 28 against Cav. Man, I really want to play the Abbasids right now. Do I play the Abbasids? I'm just going to become an Abbasid main. Watching Anduk play the Abbasid has kind of turned me on a little bit here. Just to play the Abbasids, guys. Calm down. I'm not getting that excited about having a big army, all right? Let me just put it that way. It's more about the trash army. All right, well. Looks like Treb's now going to start coming out. Keep in mind that he's just got pretty much infinite population at this point. Mango's going to be firing off. He's got a lot of siege on the back as well. Keep that in mind. Plenty of room for siege. Camel numbers starting to improve here. He's got the elite camel upgrades. Biology's come through. He's also got that incendiary arrows, but the mangoes are doing decent work here. Needs to bring Culverin online. I think that's probably the most important thing right here for Anduk. Towards that top side, a couple raiders going to get shut down. Anduk with no units in the queue at the moment. 100 military is sticking with it. Boar gets involved. Everybody watch out for that boar. He is serious. The boar means serious business. Camel's down to the south. He's looking for maybe a bit of a raid or something. Meanwhile, towards the middle, man, this army is huge. I don't think you're rolling over the top of this one. I think Corvinus might have this. The problem that you've got with an army like this is now that it's reached this size, it's very hard to stop this army. This army is incredibly difficult to roll over now. Treb's firing off. Indeed, Camel's going for a little bit of a roam down here towards the south. Is he thinking about going for a king snipe, maybe? It could be an option for him. I mean, how would you go about a king snipe against this? And these are all cannon emplacement upgraded, with the exception of a couple of them, maybe 5 or 6 of them. So how do you take out this town center? I don't even know, man. Maybe just a whole bunch of horsemen? But even then, like, I don't know if it's going to go down that way. Like, I feel like you're probably just going to lose by the time that you do. Speaking of losing, where's that king? I don't even know where the king is at this stage of the game. Let's hope he's not in the middle here. He's getting chased around Anduk right now. Only a handful of units in queue. 183 population. Losing out on the middle. And then once Corvinus takes the sacred sites, that's pretty much it. Goes for a little bit of a run down here towards the south. He's looking for a way through and realizes it's not going to happen. Throws in the towel. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Corvinus coming out with the Mongol victory with a beautiful Mongol strategy. Fellas, go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can watch him live over on Twitch. And if you've enjoyed this game, please hit the like button down below. It really helps out the traction of the video.